Hi, this is Matthew. I'm going to talk about the next Beach Boys album from 1970 called Sunflower. Apparently had Capitol ditched them, didn't renew them, and they have now gone to Reprise Records, through their own label, Brothers Records, which I could not remember the name of that label. However, now when you stream it, it shows Brothers Records, but it's through Capitol, which is correct. So somehow that all got switched around at some point. They went back to Capitol. I'm not quite sure how that worked, but it did. And now they are with a new label up to this stage of the game, with Reprise, and seeing what happens there. Still does poorly, unfortunately, but it's a good one. The Brits still like it. It does, I think, a lot better there. I forget what they got it charted at. You can look at the bottom of the article for Wikipedia and see what it says. This one is totally a group effort. Brian Wilson's also involved, which is good. I guess he came back from the mental hospital place, at least for the time being, which is great up to this stage. Probably some more albums that are more. This one is very highly rated by people and fans. I thought it was really good. I knew nothing from it, but that's okay. Definitely updating the sound a little bit. Again, I think proper studios were used, so we'll go through and see what goes on. I really enjoyed it. There's some good stuff going on it. We have, there it is. Oh yeah, I was looking at some of this still. Yeah. Yeah, they had a bunch of tracks from this one. Kind of looking at some of the things here. Okay, they were going to make it up to Capitol and it didn't work out really quick. Yeah. Lots of things happen. Yeah, let me go find our tracks really quick here. I was meant to read some of this earlier, but I did not, but it's okay. It's very good anyway. Let me go find our track listing. I'd forgotten I was looking at this before I had left yesterday. That's okay though. We'll just go down here real quick and get it. Yeah, they had a bunch of leftover tracks and things that got put on some stuff later. We only had one single, Add Some Music to Your Day, it's called, but we'll get to that in just 1 second here. Right here. There we are. From the original release, back on side 1, we have the song as Slip On Through, with Dennis Wilson and Greg Jacobson, another partner guy. Dennis Wilson on the vocals for this one. This Whole World is pretty good. Brian Wilson did that one, and Carl sings on it. And then Add Some Music to Your Day, that was the only single off of it. Did not chart well here. Brian Wilson and Joe Knott or something, and then Mike Love and Bruce Johnson, and basically everybody, pretty much everybody except Dennis Wilson. So you got Mike Love, Bruce Johnson, Carl Wilson, and Brian Wilson and Al Jardine on that one. And Got to Know the Woman, with Brian Wilson and that Jacobson guy again. Dennis Wilson did the vocals here. And then Deirdre, I think it is Deirdre. Johnson and Wilson did that. Bruce Johnson and Brian Wilson. And Johnson and Brian Wilson on it. Yeah, I think he does sing more on this one, if I recall. It's About Time. Dean Wilson and Carl Wilson and Bob Richmond and Jardine. Oh, that was like the producer guy, I think. Carl Wilson and Mike Love did the singing on it, though. And then you go to side 2. Tears in the Morning with Brett's a Bruce Johnston track. It's Bruce Johnson sings it, so if you want to hear him singing, that's where you can. He does some vocals here. And then I Want to Do, that was a pretty good one. I think it was left over from some of the earlier sessions. Barry Wilson and Mike Love with Mike Love. Forever, that Dennis Wilson and that Jacobson guy again. Dennis Wilson sings it, and then Our Sweet Love with Barry Wilson, Carl Wilson, and Al Jardine on that one. Wrote that one. Carl Wilson does the singing duties there. At My Window, Al Jardine and Brian Wilson wrote it, and Bruce Johnson and Brian Wilson sang it. So yeah, he gets more involved here, which is great. And then Cool Cool Water is the last track with Bruce and Love on Brian Wilson and Mike Love on the writing credits, with Brian Wilson and Mike Love singing that one. Oh, the international LP had Cotton Fields on it, apparently, from the last album. Grape Jason got added in 91. Okay, in 2021, I guess. Okay, so there was some writing dispute that got fixed in 21. And then, yeah, there was an album they were going to do called Reverberation, which they rejected. Yeah, the album was put together, but it did not get released. But we have, they did live in London instead. So they've put it on other things, but we have the tracks from it. We'll see what we have here. Okay, we had a track called it was the single version of Cotton Fields was supposed to go first, and then it was going to be Loop de Loop, sorry. And then All I Want to Do was going to be next, followed by Got to Know the Woman. There was only a mono mix of that one. And then When Girls Get Together was an instrumental track. And then Breakaway was going to finish that side out. And then San Miguel with Celebrate the News. Deirdre was there next. The Lord's Prayer was a duophonic remix. Interesting. And then Forever, that was going to end the track. There was a Feel Flows thing that was released after in 2021. It had Surf's, this album and then Surf's Up, which follows next, and they were combined together with some tracks here. We won't worry about that one just yet. We might review it later, possibly. I can't stream it, so I can go have a look at it when we get it to 2021 and such. We can revisit some of these compilations with some of these other tracks. Our people, though, of course, we have Al Jardine on second tenor, and Barrett's on vocals and finger snaps, apparently. Bruce Johnson, second tenor, first tenor, vocals, bass, Roxachard and finger snaps. I don't know what in the world that's trying to tell me. Mike Love, bass, vocals, and finger snaps. Brian Wilson, first tenor, vocals, piano, that Roxachard, Terry piano, organ and a Moog synthesizer, and finger snaps. Ooh, I like Moogs. Or Moogs, however you pronounce that. Synthesizer, that's one of my favorite synthesizer sounds. Carl Wilson, second tenor, vocals, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and that Chamberlain, vocals and bass. Oh, Chamberlain and bass, sorry. And the Rexachard, electric sitar, clavinet and finger snaps, additional percussion. Oh, it was an electric sitar. I did not realize that. I probably heard that forever and didn't know what it was. Dennis Wilson, baritone, bass, vocals, piano, guitar, drums, bongos, finger snaps, cowbell, and tambourine. Cowbell's uncertain, apparently. Our touring guys to join the album are going to be, of course, Eddie Carter, guitar, Joe Dragon, organ, vibraphone, tech, piano, electric harpsichord, tubular bells, chimes, bass, and bass guitar. Dennis Dragon, drums, congas, cowbells, and timbales. So we had two brothers. I guess Daryl Dragon, maybe a Danish Dragon, or maybe brothers or something. Oh, we have Connie Wilson's backing vocals voice. Oh, background voice is at my window, so that was his kid. I don't know how old she would have been at this stage. I'd forgotten she was on there. I don't know how old she would have been at that point. Not sure when she was born for sure. Wouldn't be terribly old by this point. Yeah, I may have to go through Wilson Phillips. There's a 2012 album of theirs too. They recover some of their songs, but I might have to slot them in for a couple of reviews just because they were so talented. I may have to go Wilson Phillips it after the Beach Boys to kind of tie them together. Additional session guys are going to be Julia Tillman backing vocals, Killer Wills backing vocals there, Edna Wright backing vocals. Oh, Edna Wright, sorry, backing vocals. Casey David Coleman and Jerry Cole guitar. Ronald Benson guitar and mandolin. Mike Anthony electric guitar. James Burton acoustic guitar. Jack Conrad guitar and bass guitar. Ray Pullman 6-string bass and bass. Jimmy Bond double bass and electric bass. Mort Clanford, Joe Osborne, Lyle Ritz bass guitar, something like that. Larry Netchell, Mike Melvoin piano, I think it's how you pronounce that. Gene Estes drums, Times of Glockenspiel and Shaker, that's fun. Hal Blaine and John Barron, Earl Palmer drums. Frank Capp, tambourine and timpani. So at least one guy that we've seen before. Lots of these guys have never seen before. Stan Levy, bass drum and cowbell. John Adino, trumpet. Tony Tarrant, trumpet. Carl Fortino, French concertina. Interesting. Michael Horshevsky's back on cello. Red Rhodes pedal steel guitar. Paul Beaver, Bernard Cross are on the Moog synthesizers stuff there. Jim McLaury flute, he's back again. David Scher flute. Arnold Kaminsky violin, something like that. Sam Freed violin. Marvin Liminick violin. David Frasina violin. George Cast violin. Nathan Kaproff violin. Alexander Murray violin. In relation to... Oh, no, his name was Wilson, not Murray. Never mind. Murray was the first name. No relation. Never mind. Dorothy Wade violin. Spyro Stamos is back on violin from the last album. Right-handed violin. Sherry Zippert violin. Jay Rosen violin. Yeah, there's quite a bit of strings on this thing. Yeah, there's some good string stuff going on. Virginia Majewski viola. Robert Ostrowski viola. Evan Dickin viola. Alan Harston viola. Agila Scarton cello. Abe Bloboff. Arco double bass. That is it. Our technical people here. Stephen Besper, chief engineer. Mixer. Moog synthesizer, wave effects, additional vocals. Uncertain, apparently. Bill Azarus, additional engineer on Got to Know the Woman. Doug Siegel, additional engineer on Deidre and Forever. Jim Lockert, additional engineer on Cool Water. Bill Hefferson, additional engineer on Cool Water. So 2 guys on that session. Richie Martin was the cover photo. At the original art direction and the spread photography on the vinyl. And that is it. Where did we get in the UK here? Well, these are kind of hard to read. Trying to find the okay, the UK, it looks like it got to 29. It got to 19 in Canada, so I'm trying to find our chart here. It was really bad. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, it only got to 151 here, so that was pretty bad. People probably didn't even know it was out, which is the sad thing is there's a lot of good stuff on it, so people have been missing out, but hopefully they got to hear it later. It's pretty good stuff, I thought, anyway. To start out a new decade. I don't care about the year-end charts, but yeah, those were the peak positions. They also had, where was the Netherlands house listed here? That is Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Canada it got to 79. It's not great in Canada. The Netherlands got to 10, which is the best one of all of it. And of course, the UK was 29, and we were 151. So yeah, it did great. It did really good in the Netherlands. So I'm sure they probably remember it a lot better than some countries might. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's available. You can stream it. So sunflower. See, my mom was from Kansas. That's the state flower. So I don't know. Is it on the album cover? I don't think she has that. Yeah, my mom has the one with rock and roll music, and she's got one of the compilations, but not this one. I'd be curious to know if it has a sunflower on it, what the cover is. They don't talk about the cover on this Wikipedia article, so I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't read the whole article. Didn't have time. I was kind of reading some yesterday, and I didn't. I lost. Had to leave, so that's okay though. That is all right. So yeah, it was a very good album. I enjoyed it. The next one is going to be Surf's Up. We'll go to 1971 for it and see. Did you do more Beach Boys type, beachy type things? I'm not sure, but we will find out next time when I see you guys in another video.